Hey everyone! Today we're going to be discussing SpaceX's Inspiration4 mission and the top 10 facts you need to know about it. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, has developed the Crew Dragon, which will transport men to the International Space Station. It's part of NASA's intention to give private corporations control of space station flights. Here's a rundown of everything you need to know about the vehicle. Elon Musk claims that human spaceflight has always been the primary goal of his groundbreaking firm, SpaceX. On Saturday, May 30th, 2020, the entrepreneur realized his dream when the Crew Dragon spacecraft launched NASA astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken into orbit for a rendezvous with the International Space Station, or ISS. Since the shuttle's retirement in 2011, it was the first crewed vehicle to fly from U.S. land. Both SpaceX and Boeing have been designing spaceships to replace NASA's personal transportation system. Musk's spacecraft evolved from the Dragon 1 spacecraft, which has launched 20 times on supply trips to the International Space Station. During an event at SpaceX's headquarters in Hawthorne, California in May 2014, Musk introduced the 7-seat Crew Dragon design. It's a capsule-style design, similar to the Apollo command modules that took humans to the moon. The capsule is coupled to a component called the trunk, which has solar panels, heat removal radiators, cargo capacity, and fins to ensure stability during emergency aborts, from launching too soon before re-entry. The capsule and trunk are roughly 26.7 feet tall when combined, with a diameter of 13 feet. The Crew Dragon has 16 Draco thrusters that are used to maneuver the vehicle in orbit. In the vacuum of space, each Draco can generate 90 pounds of force. The capsule features a launch escape system called an LES, comprised of 8 Super Draco engines that each provide 16,000 pounds of force if something goes wrong during liftoff. Crew Dragon is immediately separated from its rocket by the LES. The trip will be directed by Jared Isaacman, the 38-year-old founder and chief executive officer of Shift4 Payments and an accomplished pilot and explorer. Inspiration4 will leave Earth from Kennedy Space Center's iconic Launch Complex 39A, the embarkation point for Apollo and Space Shuttle missions, and fly across a low Earth orbit on a multi-day voyage that will continually eclipse more than 90% of the Earth's population. Named in commemoration of the 4-person crew that will raise awareness and cash for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, this milestone heralds a new era for human spaceflight and exploration. Wouldn't it be awesome for you to know the top 10 facts about SpaceX Inspiration4? Number 1 is surprising. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and stay tuned. Number 10. The true mighty man in charge. SpaceX's factory in Hawthorne, California was used to film a scene in the live-action superhero film Iron Man 2, and CEO Elon Musk even made a cameo appearance. Iron Man 2 director Jon Favreau said Musk impacted actor Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Tony Stark, the clever billionaire behind the famed Marvel Comics superhero, in a Time magazine story on the commercial spaceflight pioneer. Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 and is also the CEO of Tesla Motors. He made his early fortune by co-founding PayPal, an online payment system. The businessman has also developed a larger-than-life reputation, with fans dubbing him the real-life Tony Stark. Number 9. What's in a name anyway? Elon Musk, the millionaire CEO of SpaceX, has revealed that he named his spacecraft Dragon after the imaginary Puff the Magic Dragon from Peter, Paul, and Mary's classic song. Musk explained that he chose the term because many detractors thought his aims were unrealistic when he established SpaceX in 2002. The company celebrated its 10th anniversary in 2013 by signing a $1.6 billion contract with NASA to provide 12 unmanned cargo trips to the International Space Station. Another company, Orbital Science Corp., based in Virginia, has a contract with the agency to send supply flights to the orbiting lab. Number 8. A new space race is underway. In 2010, SpaceX became the first commercial firm to launch a spacecraft into orbit and successfully return it to Earth. The business is now hoping to be the first commercial space capsule to dock with the International Space Station. Musk, on the other hand, has loftier ambitions. He wants to be the first entrepreneur to launch an astronaut into orbit. The corporation plans to deploy a robotic Dragon capsule to transport astronauts to the orbiting outpost and other low Earth orbit destinations in the future. Musk has also stated that humans must evolve into a multi-planet species to survive. He intends to adopt the Dragon spacecraft in the future so that it can land on the surface of Mars. Number 7. Let's hear it for the cheese. The Dragon capsule launched a wheel of cheese into orbit on its first test mission in December 2010. Before the successful launch, SpaceX officials hinted that Dragon would be carrying a secret payload into space, but the secret payload was not revealed until after the spaceship had returned to Earth and splashed down into the Pacific Ocean. The Wheel of Cheese was created in celebration of actor John Cleese's legendary skit from the British comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus. After the successful launch in 2010, Musk told reporters, "It's kind of funny. You'll adore the secret if you like Monty Python." The cheese stayed inside the Dragon capsule for the whole voyage, from launch in Florida to splashdown 500 miles west of Mexico in the Pacific Ocean. SpaceX shared photographs of the cheese wheel after the trip, showing it within a metal cylinder with a bolted-on cover. Number 6. Where did they launch from? Inspiration4 took off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, from Pad 39A. This is one of SpaceX's 2 launch pads in Florida, and it's the same one that's hosted the company's last 3 human mission flights. Pad 39A supported the majority of NASA's space shuttle missions from 1981 and 2011, before being turned over to SpaceX. It's also where Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins took off on their historic Apollo 11 moon mission, which saw Armstrong and Aldrin become the first people to walk on the moon. The 18 Draco thrusters on SpaceX's Dragon capsule breathe fire, helping the spaceship navigate in orbit and maintain attitude control. Number 5. How did they travel to space? Isaacman, Arsenax, Proctor, and Sembrowski board a Crew Dragon spacecraft that was atop the Falcon 9 rocket that's already flown. The B-1062 rocket has already flown twice, carrying GPS satellites into space for the US Space Force. The Dragon capsule was used to launch NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, and Japanese astronaut Soichi Noguchi into space in November and returned to Earth 6 months later. Number 4. Rise of the Falcon. SpaceX's fleet of Falcon rockets, the Falcon 9 boosters, and smaller Falcon 1 rockets are named after the fictitious Millennium Falcon starship from creator George Lucas's Star Wars movies. In the sci-fi classics, the legendary Millennium Falcon spacecraft is captained by the character Han Solo. Number 3. Get to know the team. Jared Isaacman, a billionaire who started Shift 4 Payments and purchased the flight, is the mission's commander. Haley Arsenax, a medical assistant at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, joins him. She was a patient there as well. Arsenax is a childhood bone cancer survivor who will act as the flight's medical officer. Because she has a metal rod in her leg to replace bone that was removed owing to a malignancy, she will be the first person to fly in space with a prosthesis. The mission's pilot, Cian Proctor, is a geosciences professor at Arizona's South Mountain Community College and a science communicator who has wanted to go to space since she was a youngster. During the Apollo 11 mission, which landed the first humans on the moon, Proctor's father worked for NASA at a tracking station in Guam. Proctor applied for a NASA astronaut position in the class of 2009, but was not chosen. Until she got the call from Inspiration4, she thought her dreams of going to space would never come true. Chris Sembrowski is a retired Air Force officer who now works for Lockheed Martin. He's a former space camp counselor who will serve as the flight's mission specialist. Sembrowski got the seat after donating to St. Jude as part of an Inspiration4 fundraising effort. Number 2. Fundraising initiatives. The Inspiration4 mission is part of a larger fundraising effort for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which aims to raise $200 million. Isaacman didn't want the mission to simply be another billionaire spaceflight. He wanted it to be meaningful, so he organized a campaign to raise money and publicity for childhood cancer research. St. Jude received a $100 million donation from Isaacman, as well as 2 other seats on the Dragon spacecraft. One went to Arsenax, who was chosen as a frontline worker by the hospital. The recipient of the other seat was chosen at random from sweepstakes entries that garnered $13 million for the Cancer Institute. After a buddy of his, who was formally chosen, opted not to go to space, Sembrowski was chosen. Proctor earned her spot in the show through a Shark Tank-style competition in which contestants created online stores utilizing Isaacman's Shift 4 payment technology to collect money for St. Jude. Each applicant was required to open a shop and run a Twitter campaign. The more Twitter interaction their films generated, the better their chances of making it to the finals. And finally, number 1. The first non-commercial spaceflight. You heard it. For the first time, a group of 4 private individuals will climb inside SpaceX's Crew Dragon spaceship to ascend into space with no professional astronauts. This will be SpaceX's fourth crewed flight, but instead of astronauts representing NASA and international partners, 4 regular folks will be the passengers. At least one experienced astronaut has accompanied all prior orbital space tourism flights and planned such missions with announced crews to lead the guests through the drama of launch, microgravity, and landing. According to a mission statement, some of the items include mission jackets with artwork created by St. Jude patients, a Fisher Apollo 11 50th anniversary space pen and coin set containing a piece of material from Apollo 11, a Martin guitar ukulele that Chris Ambroski will play in space, and much more. During the trip, Arsenics will also play a non-fungible token, NFT, of a never-before-released performance by Kings of Leon. Another NFT on board will recreate a work of art that previously traveled to the Mariana Trench, making it the first piece of art to reach both the deepest region of the ocean and orbit. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and for everything else related to space, stick with Space Authority.